Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, it's about a talk about or the discussion with you guys. So I don't know if you guys know that Metadru, which is MetaNOBs, actually have a bug ongoing in DISLYTE, but they actually made this bug into a feature now. Alright, so for those who didn't know what the bug is your S1, this skill here, your damage will permanently steal 100 attack and defense from the target, but this effect will not trigger, which is won't reduce the attribute if the target is a boss, which means your target, your Esper will still get the 100 attack and 100 defense if not mistaken, but the attribute of the boss shouldn't get reduced, which means if the boss got 2000 defense, they will still remain 2000 defense. But there's one content specifically that Metadru currently it's already bugged for like one patch, because Metadru released for one patch already, and then this whole patch here is actually a bug which you can use your S1 to reduce the boss defense and also attack, which you can actually make the boss like 0 defense or maybe 0 attack, something like that. So if you go to your shadow bosses, this effect will only trigger in Desolate Land and in your shadow guild. So if you use in the shadow guild, if you look at the leaderboard, the top leaderboard players, including me, I'm using the Metadru, the world formation as well. You'll be seeing Metadru. So why they are using Metadru here, even though if the target is a boss, cause this S1 here, it will affect on Deso bosses. It won't affect in Falsetto Fantasy, but the Deso boss will actually get attribute reduced. So you can reduce the boss attack and also reduce the boss defense. So this is the reason why we are able to do a lot of damage to the Shadow Guild, is because we have Metadru here to keep reducing the boss defense, and it shouldn't happen. So which is actually a bug, right? So I did ask the Dislike VIP, and this is the response we got. So the response is, originally this interaction, which is the Metadru interaction to the Deso bosses, was not intended, because as like they mentioned in the description here, it shouldn't affect to the boss, it shouldn't reduce the boss defense and attack, right? But however, since it's a bug now, so then however, after internal discussion, they and considering the unique mechanics of the elemental desert bosses, which is only immune to debuff, which is them, the Deso bosses, and then as well as the fact that many players already obtained your NOBs, which is the meta NOBs, so they have currently no plans to fix this interaction right away. That said, we may look into updating the skill description later to clarify this overlap. Please note this only applies to Deso bosses, not for other bosses such as Falsetto Fantasy. So not sure why, maybe they are, I don't know if they are lazy to fix the bug, or maybe because this bug will only affect the Deso boss, so they feel like player already obtained Metadru, or maybe some player obtained Metadru because they wanted to boost the Deso bosses, so they don't want to change it, because if they change Metadru, it will consider as a nerf in a way, but it is a bug, right? So if it is a bug, they should actually fix it, but they did not fix it, they changed it into a feature. In my opinion, I won't really care too much, like, but they should actually clarify it, or actually make it more clear, or make it more easier for us to understand, because for sure that Metadru was not intended to make it, like they mentioned, it's not intended to reduce the boss defense, but I thought they would actually fix it, but instead of fixing it, they're turning it into a feature. So maybe for Metadru player, they are happy about it, because it's indirectly a buff to Metadru, which makes Metadru is pretty strong for Shadow Guild, and probably in Shadow Glow as well, because it will affect to Shadow Glow, it can reduce the Shadow Glow defense, right? Not sure if that's gonna be a case, but at least for now, for the good news, I would say is Metadru can currently only use in Shadow Guild, because Shadow Trim and Shadow Fire, he can't take action, so he cannot reduce the boss defense. But in Shadow Glow and Shadow Guild, he have the potential to be a very strong support unit to keep stealing the boss buff. But I think the part that player concern is this part, which is originally a bug thing, they changed into a feature. So it might actually have a lot of thing changes in the future, maybe when certain aspect came out, then it is bug, and then they turn it into the feature. I think some players actually scared about that thing to happen, right? So I would like to hear your comments, or what is your thought about this, about Lilith changing the Metadru bug into a feature thing. Overall, it's actually a good thing for Metadru effect, which is a buff, but it shouldn't happen because at the first place they did mention Metadru shouldn't steal the boss attribute, reduce the boss attribute. So yeah, I would like to hear your own thoughts about this and your feedback as well, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Alright, so if we take a look here, Metadru is going to cast S1 soon to the boss, and once Metadru casts S1 to the boss, it will have an attribute down trigger. Alright, so Chico buff up, and then Metadru is going to do action. It's going to cast S3 first, right? Alright, so we're going to wait for Metadru to take his turn. Okay, this one is S3 from Metadru. Alright, so you can see Metadru casting S1, it did reduce the attribute from the boss. So every time it reduces 100, the attributes down here, it will always reduce 100 defense from the boss. So if you do 20 times of relief set, or maybe S1 from Metadru, then it will reduce 2000 defense from the boss. So if you do it 50 times, you're going to reduce 5000 defense to the boss. So in the end of the day, you can make the boss to 0 defense and also 0 attack. So basically you are able to make the boss defend break in a way while not applying debuff to the boss. So I'm curious, like, what do you guys think about these changes? I don't know if they're gonna put an announcement in game to let the other player know about this, but I think that I will actually like announce to you guys, so you guys will actually know that they actually turn a bug into a feature. Yeah, basically that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JenMP, SkyElk, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Craigrin, Calamity, Rocco Senzions, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.